Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to say will either wake something inside you or it will pass you by. And when it passes, you may never get this moment again. You think you're ready for success, but are you willing to look in the mirror and face the truth about why you haven't achieved the level of greatness you dream about? Most people chase results without ever mastering the one thing that controls everything, their mind. You can have every opportunity in the world, every resource, every connection. And yet, if your mindset is broken, scattered, or weak, it will all slip through your fingers like water. This is why I'm here to challenge you, to confront you, to demand more from the part of you that has been settling, making excuses, and allowing life to happen instead of making life happen for you. Your mind is the battlefield, and every second you waste feeding doubt, distraction, and fear, you are losing ground that you will never get back. Think about it. What if the only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is the way you think? What if the difference between the life you have now and the life you dream of is not your circumstances, not your past, not your luck, but the way your mind operates every single day? Most people underestimate this. They wait for motivation, for opportunities, for circumstances to align perfectly. They hope for inspiration to drop from the sky. And when it doesn't come, they quit, they complain, they fade into mediocrity. But the truth is, nothing outside you will ever give you what your mind is capable of creating. If your mind is capable of creating, if your mindset is weak, nothing will ever change. But if your mindset is strong, unstoppable, unshakable, and relentless, there is no force on this planet that can stop you from achieving what you are capable of. Right now, I want you to feel this. Dig deep and be honest. How many times have you let fear, doubt, or laziness dictate your actions? How many times have you promised yourself you would change, only to find yourself in the exact same position months later? That stops today. Today is the moment where you decide that nothing external will control your results anymore. A day you decide to make your mindset successful first. Because once your mind is strong, disciplined, focused, and aligned with your goals, everything else becomes easier. Opportunities stop being obstacles, challenges become fuel, and setbacks transform into lessons that propel you forward. You are about to embark on a journey, not through techniques or shortcuts, but through the way you think, the way you respond, and the way you decide to operate in every moment. What you're about to hear will demand attention. It will demand attention. It will demand action. This is not a speech for the passive. It is for the ones willing to challenge themselves, willing to strip away excuses, and willing to build a mind so strong that nothing can shake it. If you are ready to stop waiting, stop blaming, and stop making excuses, then lean in, because we are about to take the most important step you will ever take in your pursuit of success. Your mind is about to become your weapon. And once it is, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Your mindset is the battlefield where every victory or defeat begins. Before you ever see results in your career, your health, your finances, or your relationships, the war is already being fought in your head. The mind is the command center of your life. It is the cockpit of your reality. If your mindset is weak, scattered, or negative, you will find yourself trapped in patterns of failure and disappointment, no matter how many opportunities knock at your door. But if your mind is sharp, disciplined, and relentless, the impossible becomes possible and the ordinary transforms into extraordinary. Think about it for a moment. How many people have talent, resources, and access to opportunity but fail to achieve greatness? It isn't because the world was against them. It's because they never conquered themselves first. They never mastered their thoughts, and their mindset betrayed them. The truth is, the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. Every action you take, every choice you make, every step you move forward is an extension of what you believe in your mind. If you believe you are limited, your actions will reflect that limitation. If you believe you can't, your actions will echo that defeat. But if you believe you are unstoppable, even in the face of chaos, your actions will scream confidence, courage, and certainty. And the world has no choice but to bend to the force of your will. Your mindset shapes your perception of reality. People can face the exact same circumstances. One sees obstacles, the other sees opportunities. One complains, one acts, one shrinks under pressure, the other rises above it. The difference isn't luck, timing, or circumstance. It is mental conditioning. It is the way they have trained their thoughts over months, years, decades. Success is not a result of chance. It is the result of preparation, mental toughness, and the refusal to let limiting beliefs run your life. When you start understanding that your mindset is the foundation of all outcomes, you stop blaming external forces and start taking responsibility for your reality. Every failure, every disappointment, every setback can be traced back to the state of your mind at that moment. Were you ready? Were you focused? Were you thinking in alignment with success? Or were you drifting, doubting, and hoping for luck to save you? The mind doesn't operate on hope. It operates on belief and clarity. It moves towards certainty, not uncertainty. If you want results, you must first cultivate a mindset that knows results are inevitable, that failure is temporary, and that every obstacle is fuel for growth. Understanding that mindset dictates results also means recognizing the silent killers of success: negativity, fear, doubt, and distraction. These are not minor inconveniences. They are assassins that kill potential before it has a chance to flourish. When your mind is clouded with doubt, hesitation, and fear, your actions become tentative, weak, and inconsistent. You avoid taking risks. You postpone decisions, and you settle for mediocrity. But when your mind is trained, disciplined, and relentless, hesitation disappears. Fear is crushed under the weight of certainty, and doubt is replaced with a fire that refuses to be extinguished. This is why champions, leaders, and those who dominate in any field are not necessarily more talented. They are mentally superior. They have conditioned their minds to operate in a state of relentless focus, unwavering confidence, and absolute refusal to be defeated. Their mindset does not fluctuate with circumstances. It remains anchored, unshakable, and committed to results. Your mindset also determines how you handle adversity. Life will hit you hard. Opportunities will be lost. People will betray you. Plans will fail. And pain will arrive uninvited. How you respond in those moments is a direct reflection of the mental framework you have built. If your mindset is fragile, adversity becomes a reason to quit, a reason to blame, a reason to give up. But if your mindset is trained for success, adversity becomes fuel. Every failure becomes a lesson. Every obstacle becomes a challenge to conquer. And every setback becomes a stepping stone toward greatness. Your mind shapes not only your actions, but your resilience. And resilience is what? It separates those who achieve results from those who merely dream about them. Every goal, every dream, every aspiration is first imagined and sustained in your mind. You cannot take a step towards success without believing it is possible. Your actions are a reflection of your inner dialogue, your self-perception, and the belief systems you have cultivated. If your mind is full of excuses, laziness, and negativity, your results will mirror that. But if your mind is built on discipline, focus, and an unshakable belief in your ability to succeed, your results will reflect that strength. This is why so many people chase success but never catch it. They underestimate the power of the mind. They think they can act like a success while thinking like a failure. That is impossible. You cannot outwork a mind that is sabotaging you from the inside. Building a successful mindset requires daily effort. It requires vigilance over your thoughts, consistency in your focus, and ruthlessness in eliminating anything that doesn't serve your growth. You must decide what beliefs you will nurture, what thoughts you will allow to dominate, and what attitudes will govern your response to life. This isn't easy and it isn't quick. It takes time, discipline, and relentless self-awareness. But every moment spent sharpening your mind multiplies your results exponentially. A single thought of confidence can cascade into bold action. A single decision to refuse negativity can transform a day, a month, a year, even a lifetime. The reality is simple. Your mind is the engine of your life. It powers your decisions, drives your actions, and fuels your persistence. If your mindset is weak, everything else crumbles. If your mindset is strong, you can overcome any obstacle, endure any hardship, and achieve any goal. The mind is where success is born, and it is where it must be nurtured, protected, and sharp. And before you chase money, fame, or recognition, you must first chase mastery over your own thoughts. Before you seek results, you must first engineer the mental environment that produces results. Success is not about what you do. It is about what you believe you can do. And belief is nothing more and nothing less than the power of a trained, disciplined, and unstoppable mindset. Your mindset determines your results because it is the lens through which you perceive the world, the fuel behind every action you take, and the shield that protects you from defeat. If you want to change your life, start by changing your mind. Feed it, challenge it, discipline it, and armor it with belief and clarity. Train your thoughts because your life will follow. Strengthen your mind because your results are only as strong as the mental foundation they rest upon. Own your mindset. Dominate your thought fight. Own your mindset. Dominate your thoughts. And the world will have no choice but to recognize the results you create. Your inner dialogue is the conversation that happens inside your head every single moment of every single day. It is the voice you hear when no one else is around. The voice that decides whether you feel strong or weak, capable or inadequate, motivated or defeated. Most people underestimate this voice, dismissing it as background noise. But it is the most powerful force in your life. The words you speak to yourself shape the way you see your world, the way you respond to challenges, and ultimately the way you respond to challenges, and ultimately the way you act. If your inner dialogue is negative, critical, or fearful, it will infiltrate every decision, every step, and every opportunity you have. You will second guess yourself, hesitate when action is required, and unconsciously sabotage your own success. On the other hand, if your inner dialogue is disciplined, empowering, and relentless, it becomes a weapon that propels you forward even when the world is trying to push you down. Winning in life begins with winning in life, begins with winning in life, begins with winning in the dialogue, is the battlefield where this war is fought. Think about it. How often have you talked yourself out of greatness? How often have you hesitated, doubted, or convinced yourself that something was impossible only to watch someone else achieve what you thought you couldn't? That is your inner dialogue at work. The words you speak to yourself shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. Every I can't, every it's too hard, every I'm not ready becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The mind does not differentiate between reality and imagination. It reacts to what it believes is true. If you believe you are weak, hesitant, or incapable, your body and your actions will follow suit. But if you choose to believe that you are powerful, capable, and unstoppable, your actions will align with that belief and your results will reflect it. This is why mastering your inner dialogue is not optional. It is essential. Success is never just about what you do on the outside. It is about the stories you tell yourself on the inside. Your inner dialogue controls your confidence, or inner dialogue controls your confidence. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build moment by moment, thought by thought. Every time you tell yourself you can handle a challenge, you build a neural pathway in your brain that supports resilience and bold action. Every time you tell yourself you are unworthy or incapable, you reinforce doubt, fear, and hesitation. Your inner voice is either your biggest ally or your worst enemy. It is a silent force that either pushes you toward greatness or holds you back from stepping into your full potential. To master it, you must first become aware of it. You must listen to the thoughts you are entertaining, the words you are speaking to yourself, and the patterns that dominate your mental space. Awareness is the first step toward control. Once you become aware of your inner dialogue, you have the power to change it. But change is not automatic. It requires discipline, consistency, and intentionality. You cannot allow negative thoughts to drift unchecked like weeds in a garden. You must uproot them, replace them, and cultivate thoughts that nourish growth, courage, and determination. For every I can't, you must plant an I will. For every I'm not ready, you must declare I am prepared and I will adapt. This is not just positive thinking. It is mental conditioning. It is the practice of training your mind to speak in a language of action, empowerment, and unstoppable belief. Every word matters because it forms the blueprint for your behavior. Speak like a winner, think like a winner, and your results will follow. Mastering your inner dialogue also requires ruthless honesty. You must recognize when your thoughts are lying to you, when they are rationalizing fear, when they are hiding behind excuses. Most people are unaware of how many times they talk themselves out of action each day. They tell themselves, I'll start tomorrow, I need more time, or I'm not ready, without realizing that each of these statements is a mental trap, a chain that keeps them anchored in mediocrity. By confronting these lies head on, by challenging them, and by refusing to let them dominate, you begin to reclaim control over your mind. You begin to speak with clarity, precision, and power. You begin to create a mental environment where success is not optional, but inevitable. Another critical aspect of mastering your inner dialogue is the tone you use with yourself. How you speak internally determines your energy, your focus, and your emotional state. A harsh, critical, or doubting inner voice creates stress, hesitation, and indecision. A supportive, firm, and confident inner voice creates focus, momentum, and resilience. You must learn to coach yourself, not berate yourself. You must learn to push yourself forward, not beat yourself into submission. Imagine a world-class athlete on the field. They do not succeed because someone else is yelling at them. They succeed because they have cultivated a voice inside themselves that drives them relentlessly, corrects them without fear, and fuels them without hesitation. This is exactly what your inner dialogue must become. A personal coach, a motivator, a relentless, a P, lead who refuses to let you quit. You refuses to let you quit. Your inner dialogue also determines how you handle setbacks. Life will throw punches, mistakes will happen, failures will come. If your inner voice is weak, you will crumble. You will spiral into self-doubt, fear, and frustration. But if your inner voice is strong, disciplined, and empowering, you will see setbacks as information, as opportunities, as fuel for growth. You will tell yourself, this is temporary. I will adjust. I will rise. I will get stronger. Mastering your inner dialogue ensures that even in the darkest moments, you maintain control, focus, and belief in your ability to overcome. Your mind becomes your armor, your shield, and your sword. The process of mastering your inner dialogue is daily work. It is not something that happens once and then disappears. It requires constant attention, reflection, and refinement. You must monitor the thoughts you allow to dominate, the words you speak to yourself, and the beliefs you reinforce. You must speak with intentionality, acting like a general commanding an army of thoughts. You cannot allow mental chaos, distraction, or negativity to dictate your behavior. Every moment of focus, every disciplined thought, every empowering word compounds over time. The mind that is trained to dominate internally will dominate externally. Finally, mastering your inner dialogue is about creating unwavering belief in yourself and your mission. It is about refusing to entertain thoughts that diminish your potential. It is about speaking with certainty, clarity, and conviction every single day, regardless of circumstances. When you master your inner dialogue, you are no longer at the mercy of doubt, fear, or hesitation. You become the commander of your reality, the architect of your destiny, and the driver of unstoppable results. The power of your mind is limitless, but only if you choose to control all it. Speak to yourself with respect, with fire, and with authority, and the world will have no choice but to respond to the force you radiate. Master your inner dialogue, and you master your life. Discipline is the backbone of success, but it is not external. It starts in the mind. You cannot chase goals and expect to achieve greatness if your mind is undisciplined, chaotic, or scattered. You cannot build a house without a foundation, and you cannot build a life of success without a mind trained to handle it. Discipline is what separates dreamers from achievers. It is what allows a person to take control of their thoughts, actions, and habits, to push past discomfort and to maintain focus even when the world is pulling in every other direction. Every goal you have whether it is financial, personal, or professional, is only achievable if your mind is trained to sustain the effort, to endure the struggle, and to keep moving when others quit. Without mental discipline, goals become distant illusions, fleeting ideas that slip through your fingers because your mind was not strong enough to hold on to them. The truth is, most people chase goals with little regard for the state of their mind. They think success is about speed, talent, or luck. But the reality is that the mind is the engine that drives all progress. A person with talent but no mental discipline will falter at the first sign of resistance. A person with opportunity but no mental structure will waste it in distraction, doubt, and inconsistency. The mind that is undisciplined is a mind that is reactive. It reacts to fear. It reacts to comfort. It reacts to temptation. Discipline, on the other hand, transforms a reactive mind into a proactive force. It allows you to take control of your thoughts, to direct your energy toward what matters, and to act decisively, even when emotions tell you to quit. Discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. It is the freedom to act without hesitation, the freedom to persevere without doubt, and the freedom to chase your goals relentlessly without being hijacked by fleeting desires or distractions. Discipline begins with control over your daily actions because your habits are the reflection of your mind. A mind that is undisciplined will allow habits to form unconsciously, habits that waste time, drain energy, and reinforce mediocrity. But a disciplined mind is intentional. It chooses every thought, every action, and every decision with precision. It knows that success is not built in a single day or a single moment. It is built in the consistency of small actions repeated over time. Every day that you wake up and commit to training your mind, your focus, and your behavior, you are building a mental muscle that will carry you through challenges, failures, and distractions. Discipline trains you to do what is necessary even when you don't feel like it. It forces you to take responsibility for your results, to refuse excuses, and to create momentum through consistent effort. Another critical aspect of disciplining the mind before chasing goals is learning to delay gratification. The world is full of distractions, temptations, and shortcuts that promise immediate satisfaction but deliver long-term failure. A mind that is undisciplined succumbs to these impulses, prioritizing comfort over growth. But a disciplined mind is patient, understanding that the greatest rewards require sustained effort, sacrifice, and focus. It is willing to endure discomfort today for exponential results tomorrow. It trains itself to resist the lure of temporary pleasure because it knows that the payoff for long-term success is far greater than the fleeting satisfaction of ease. Discipline is the ability to stay committed when the world tempts you to quit, when the pressure mounts, and when the journey feels too hard. Without it, goals remain fantasies. With it, even the most audacious dreams become inevitable. Discipline also teaches the mind to handle failure, setbacks, and criticism with resilience. Chasing goals is not a straight path. You will encounter obstacles, rejection, and moments of doubt. A mind that is not disciplined will collapse under these pressures, blaming circumstances, others, or luck. But a disciplined mind sees failure as feedback, criticism as guidance, and setbacks as opportunities to grow stronger. It conditions the brain to respond with persistence rather than panic, to focus on solutions rather than problems, and to act with courage rather than hesitation. Discipline is not just about controlling action. It is about controlling reaction. 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 And to continue moving forward with clarity and purpose. One of the most powerful truths about disciplining the mind before chasing goals is that it builds self-trust. When you consistently control your thoughts, actions, and habits, you develop a deep sense of confidence in your ability to handle anything that life throws at you. You no longer rely on external validation, luck, or circumstances. You know on a fundamental level that you can execute, endure, and overcome. This internal trust becomes a superpower and allows you to set higher goals, take bolder actions, and face risks that would paralyze someone whose mind is undisciplined. People with disciplined minds are relentless because they trust themselves. They know that no matter what challenge arises, their mind is capable of navigating it with focus, resilience, and strength. Discipline is also about focus. The world is noisy, filled with distractions, opinions, and endless demands on your attention. A mind that is undisciplined will drift with the currents of distraction, wasting time, energy, and effort. But a disciplined mind cuts through the noise. It focuses relentlessly on what matters, eliminating distractions and aligning every thought and action with the goals it seeks to achieve. Focused discipline creates a compounding effect. Every small, deliberate action adds up. Every hour spent in deliberate practice compounds over weeks, months, and years. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary, not through sudden genius or luck, but through disciplined, consistent action that accumulates until success is inevitable. It is also essential to understand that mental discipline cannot be outsourced or delayed. You cannot hope to become disciplined tomorrow while indulging in chaos today. You cannot chase big goals with a mind that is fragmented, reactive, or lazy. Discipline is built daily, moment by moment, choice by choice. You must train your mind like an athlete trains their body through repeated effort, intentional focus, and relentless push beyond comfort. Every time you choose to focus when you would rather be distracted, every time you choose to act when you would rather wait, every time you choose growth over ease, you are building a disciplined mind that cannot fail. Finally, disciplining the mind before chasing goals is the ultimate preparation for success. Goals are meaningless without the mental structure to achieve them. Dreams without discipline are fantasies. Talent without discipline is wasted. Potential is wasted. Hard work without mental control is chaotic and unsustainable. When you train your mind first, you create an unshakable foundation on which every goal, every plan, and every aspiration can be built. You gain control over your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, and that control translates directly into results. The world does not reward desire. It rewards execution, consistency, and the mental toughness to endure and dominate. Discipline your mind, and your goals will follow. Master your thoughts, control your focus, and take relentless action, because the mind that is disciplined before the chase becomes unstoppable during it. Struggle is not the enemy of success. It is the fire that forges it. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has faced moments of struggle, moments when the weight of life threatened to crush them, moments when the path forward seemed impossible. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not the absence of struggle. It is how they perceive it, how they respond to it, and how they use it. Most people run from struggle. They avoid discomfort, pain, and challenge at all costs, believing that success should feel easy, that progress should be smooth, and that life should conform to their expectations. But that is a lie. Struggle is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are on the right path, that you are being tested, and that your growth is imminent. Those who learn to embrace struggle, to harness it as fuel rather than fear, are the ones who transform potential to reality, dreams into results, and ideas into legacies. Struggle is a teacher that cannot be ignored. It exposes weakness, highlights areas for growth, and reveals the gaps between where you are and where you need to be. It forces you to confront your limitations, face your fears, and rise above the excuses that have held you back. Every setback, every obstacle, every failure is an opportunity to refine your mind, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your resolve. The moment you begin to see struggle as fuel rather than a burden, your mindset shifts. Pain no longer becomes a reason to quit. It becomes a signal that you are stepping out of your comfort zone, stretching your capacity, and prepared for the level of success you are destined to achieve. Struggle is not something to avoid. It is something to welcome because it is the catalyst for transformation. Most people avoid struggle because it is uncomfortable. They seek comfort, ease, and safety, thinking that progress should feel good all the time. But real growth never happens in comfort. It happens when the pressure is high, when the weight is heavy, and when your body, mind, and spirit are tested beyond what you thought possible. Struggle is a mirror that reflects your true strength. If you shrink from it, it exposes weakness. If you confront it, it exposes weakness. If you confront it, it exposes as a chance to train yourself, to endure, to adapt, and to grow stronger. The mind, like a muscle, only develops when it is stretched, strained, and challenged. Struggle is that resistance, and it is essential for building the mental and emotional fortitude necessary to achieve lasting success. Embracing struggle as fuel also requires a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, why me? You must ask, what can I learn? Instead of seeing obstacles as punishment, you must see them as opportunities. Every struggle carries a lesson, every difficulty carries a gift, and every setback carries the seeds of a comeback. The key is to look for the lesson, to seek the growth, and to refuse to waste pain by letting it break you. Those who succeed are not those who avoid problems. They are those who leverage them, who take the energy of struggle and convert it into relentless action, creative solutions, and unstoppable momentum. Pain, failure, and struggle are not detours. They are the very fuel that propels you toward your ultimate destination. Another critical truth is that struggle tests your commitment and your vision. When the journey becomes hard, the dream becomes tempting to abandon, and the temptation to quit becomes strong. This is Pressy. Sealy, when your mindset is revealed. A strong mind does not give up. It doubles down. A weak mind complains, blames, and retreats. To embrace struggle as fuel, you must develop a mental toughness that refuses to be broken by temporary difficulty. You must see hardship as a proving ground where your strength, resilience, and determination are measured. Every struggle is a chance to demonstrate to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances, that your resolve is unshakable, and that your vision is worth every ounce of pain it demands. Struggle also teaches patience and perseverance. Success is rarely instantaneous. Success is rarely instantaneous. It does not arrive at your convenience or according to your timeline. It comes through consistent effort, repeated action, and the willingness to endure hardship day after day, month after month, year after year. Those who embrace struggle understand that temporary discomfort is the price of permanent results. They are willing to endure the grind, to stay committed when others quit, and to keep pushing forward even when the reward seems distant. This endurance, fueled by struggle, compounds over time, creating momentum that is unstoppable. Unstoppable because it has been tempered in the fire of difficulty. The mindset required to embrace struggle also transforms fear into action. Most people fear failure, rejection, and difficulty, and they avoid struggle as a result. But when you learn to see struggle as fuel, fear loses its power. You no longer wait for conditions to be perfect. You no longer hesitate for comfort. You no longer let anxiety dictate your actions. Every challenge becomes a call to action. Every obstacle becomes a spark for creativity, and every moment of pain becomes a catalyst for growth. Struggle, once feared, becomes a friend and ally that drives you to higher levels of performance, insight, and achievement. Embracing struggle as fuel also strengthens your character. The way you respond to difficulty defines the person you become. Are you someone who crumbles under pressure, or are you someone who rises with courage, resourcefulness, and resilience? Struggle forces you to make decisions, act decisively, and take responsibility. It develops grit, patience, humility, and perspective. Without struggle, character remains untested, weak, and unrefined. With struggle, you are forged into someone capable of handling success without arrogance, failure without despair, and life without excuses. Every legendary story of success is also a story of struggle. The entrepreneurs, athletes, leaders, and innovators who dominate their fields did not avoid difficulty. They embraced it, leveraged it, and allowed it to fuel their drive. They understood that struggle is not the interruption of their journey. It is the essence of it. Pain becomes energy, pressure becomes momentum, and obstacles become stepping stones. The mindset of embracing struggle is the mindset of winners. It is a refusal to quit, a refusal to blame, and a refusal to accept mediocrity. It is the mindset that sees life's challenges as necessary fuel for the fire of greatness. Finally, embracing struggle as fuel means taking ownership of your journey. You no longer wait for life to become easy, or circumstances to align, or for opportunities to magically appear. You take responsibility. You harness difficulty and you convert it into energy, strategy, and relentless forward motion. Every challenge is an opportunity to build skill, sharpen your mind, and test your limits. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is feedback, and every moment of pain is fuel for action. Life will always test you, push you, and challenge you, but your response will determine whether struggle destroys you or empowers you. The people who achieve greatness are not those who avoid struggle. They are those who embrace it, harness it, and allow it to drive them to a level of success that others can only dream of. Struggle is inevitable, but defeat is optional. You can allow difficulty to break you, or you can allow it to build you. You can fear it, or you can fuel yourself with it. You can run from it, or you can embrace it. As the engine of your greatness, the choice is yours. But remember this, the mind that sees struggle as fuel becomes unstoppable, relentless, and unshakable. It converts every challenge into momentum, every obstacle into opportunity, and every moment of pain into power. Embrace struggle. Use it. Fuel yourself with it. Let it drive you to heights you never thought possible. Because greatness is never thought possible. Because greatness is never keyed in comfort. And victory is never claimed without first walking through the fire. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It is a mental rehearsal of your future, a deliberate exercise that programs your mind for success. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real in terms of action and emotion. When you see yourself achieving your goals with clarity and intensity, your mind begins to align your actions, decisions, and energy with that vision. Too many people wait for circumstances to be perfect for the world to hand them success and for opportunities to appear. They fail to realize that the first step toward any accomplishment starts internally in the mind through unwavering belief and detailed visualization. You cannot reach heights you haven't seen, felt, and believe in yourself first. You cannot achieve a level of performance you haven't mentally rehearsed. The mind that is convinced, that sees the prize before it exists, moves differently. It acts with confidence, determination, and relentless focus. Belief is the fuel of action, and visualization is the engine that channels it. To visualize effectively, you must go beyond surface level dreams. You must immerse yourself in the experience. Imagine it with all your senses. Feel the emotions as though it is already real, and internalize the triumph and satisfaction of success. When you do this consistently, your brain begins to accept these imagined experiences as achievable realities, which transforms your approach to action. You begin to move, think, and respond as the person who has already achieved what you are chasing. Visualization without belief is empty. Belief without visualization is blind. Together, they form a mental blueprint that guides every decision and amplifies every effort. The power of visualization lies in its ability to bridge the gap between your current reality and your future potential. Most people fail not because they lack talent, opportunity, or hard work, but because they cannot see themselves achieving it. Their goals remain abstract, distant, and unattainable because their minds are not convinced of the possibility. When you visualize success with unshakable belief, you collapse that distance. You train your subconscious to recognize patterns, identify opportunities, and act in alignment with the reality you are creating. You start to anticipate solutions, to respond with confidence in moments of doubt, and to persist when the majority would give up. The mental image becomes a compass, guiding your actions and keeping you aligned with the results you are determined to claim. Visualization also strengthens your resilience and persistence. Life will inevitably challenge you. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures are guaranteed along the journey. A mind that has not seen itself succeed will easily crumble under pressure, losing motivation and direction when faced with adversity. But a mind that has internalized the vision of success becomes unshakable. It remembers the future it has imagined, the prize it has already felt in its heart, and it refuses to settle for less. This inner image becomes a source of motivation and a source of discipline. It fuels you through sleepless nights, long hours of work, and moments when the world tells you to quit. When you can see victory clearly in your mind, no external circumstance has the power to shake your focus or derail your momentum. The act of visualization is not passive. It is deliberate, intentional, and rigorous. It requires daily practice, repetition, and commitment. Elite performers in every field, from athletes to entrepreneurs to artists, use visualization as a cornerstone of their preparation. They do not leave their performance to chance. They mentally rehearse every action, every challenge, and every triumph. They imagine the exact feeling of overcoming obstacles, achieving goals, and experiencing success when they face reality. It feels familiar because their mind has already navigated it countless times. This is the difference between those who succeed consistently and those who fail despite talent and effort. The ones who dominate mentally have rehearsed victory before it physically manifests. Belief is the linchpin of visualization. Without unwavering belief, visualization becomes fantasy. Belief is the certainty that no matter what happens, no obstacle is insurmountable, no challenge is permanent, and no setback can derail your pursuit. It is the refusal to entertain doubt, hesitation, or fear. It is the refusal to entertain doubt, hesitation, or fear. It is the relentless insistence that your vision is not only possible, but inevitable. When beliefs saturate your visualization, it transforms mental images into actionable strategies, emotional energy, and unstoppable momentum. You begin to act, speak, and live in alignment with the reality you are creating. And this alignment forces the world to respond to the force of your conviction. Visualization also aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious efforts. Your subconscious drives 95% of your behavior. If it has not accepted your goals as real, your conscious efforts will be inconsistent, wavering, and sabotaged by fear or doubt. But when your subconscious has internalized the vision of success through visualization of belief, every action you take becomes synchronized with your desired outcome. You make choices that support your goals, prioritize tasks that matter, and maintain focus even in the presence of distractions. Your mind begins to work behind the scenes, solving problems, recognizing opportunities, and guiding you toward the results you have imagined. To visualize with unshakable belief, you must immerse yourself fully. It is not enough to see a vague picture of success. You must feel it, hear it, and live it mentally. Imagine the emotions of victory, the pride of achievement, the relief of overcoming struggle, and the energy that accompanies reaching your full potential. Picture the obstacles, envision yourself conquering them, and experience the satisfaction of persistence rewarded. Repeat this process daily, and it begins to shape not only your thoughts, but your habits, decisions, and energy. Your mental rehearsal becomes your roadmap. Your internal rehearsal becomes your roadmap, your internal compass guiding every step with precision. Believe and visualization also enhance courage and risk-taking. When you have mentally experienced success, fear loses its grip. You know what victory feels like, and you know it is possible. You are willing to take calculated risks, step into discomfort, and make bold moves that others hesitate to attempt. Visualization turns imagined scenarios into familiar terrain, reducing uncertainty and increasing confidence. This confidence becomes magnetic, attracting opportunities, alliances, and results that align with the reality you have already created in your mind. Finally, businessation with unshakable belief teaches patience and persistence. Success rarely arrives instantly. There will be delays, failures, and detours. A mind trained to see and feel success knows that these are temporary obstacles, not permanent barriers. Visualization reinforces the certainty that the outcome is coming, even if the process is long, difficult, and unpredictable. It anchors your focus, sustains your effort, and fuels your persistence. The more vividly you can see and believe in your success, the more unstoppable your pursuit becomes. In the end, success begins long before action manifests. It begins in the mind through the deliberate practice of visualization and the unwavering commitment to belief. You must see it, feel it, and live it internally before the world recognizes it externally. The mind that visualizes with clarity, intensity, and unshakable belief will act differently, respond differently, and ultimately achieve differently. It moves with confidence, focus, and relentless momentum because it has rehearsed victory and refused to accept doubt. Visualization and belief are the engines of greatness. the secret forces that transform ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Master this process and nothing will ball fight. Master this process and nothing will be able to stop you from achieving the success you have seen, believed, and committed to with every fiber of your being. Your environment is a reflection of your mind, and the people you surround yourself with are a reflection of your future. If you spend your life around negativity, doubt, and mediocrity, your own mindset will slowly erode, your ambition will fade, and your capacity to achieve greatness will shrink. A mind is highly impressionable. It absorbs the attitudes, energy, and habits of those closest to it. This is why the company you keep matters more than you read. Lies. Surrounding yourself with mental strength is not just advice. It is a strategy for survival and dominance in a world that constantly tests your resolve. The people you interact with, the conversations you engage in, and the energy you allow into your life directly influence the thoughts you think, the decisions you make, and the actions you take. Mental strength is contagious and weakness is infectious. If you want to be unstoppable, you must deliberately cultivate an environment that elevates you, challenges you, and demands your best every single day. Most people underestimate how much influence their inner circle has on their mindset. Toxic relationships, constant complaining, and negativity slowly poison your focus, dilute your ambition, and erode your confidence. Even subtle doubts expressed by those around you can plant seeds of hesitation, fear, and distraction. That is why surrounding yourself with mental strength is critical. You must choose carefully who you allow to occupy your time and energy. Those who lack vision will try to convince you to lower yours. Those who are weak will try to slow you down. Those who are comfortable with mediocrity will make you question your hunger for excellence. Mental strength is not merely about being around successful people. It is about being around those who possess the mindset, discipline, and resilience that mirror the version of yourself you are striving to become. Surrounding yourself with mental strength also means seeking out mentors, coaches, and allies who challenge you to grow. These are the people who will not let you settle, who will push you beyond your comfort zones, and who will demand accountability when you are tempted to quit. True mental strength is forged in the presence of other strong minds. It is sharpened through challenge, conversation, and confrontation with people who refuse to let you operate in mediocrity. Weak minds avoid confrontation, dodge accountability, and tolerate excuses. Strong minds confront reality, demand clarity, and insist on consistent growth. By surrounding yourself with people who embody this strength, your own mindset rises to meet the level of those around you. You begin to internalize their habits, their attitudes, and their resilience, and it becomes part of your own mental DNA. Energy is everything. Mental strength is about more than just willpower. It is about the energy you allow into your life. Negative energy drains focus, diminishes courage, and reduces capacity to perform under pressure. Every conversation, every interaction, and every relationship either fuels your fire or smothers it. You cannot afford to waste mental bandwidth on people who talk endlessly about what is impossible, who live in fear, or who justify mediocrity. Instead, you must seek those who lift you, inspire you, and compel you to act at a higher level. Surrounding yourself with mental strength is about creating a mental ecosystem that supports growth, encourages discipline, and normalizes excellence. You absorb the habits, beliefs, and energy of those closest to you, so choose wisely. Another element of surrounding yourself with mental strength is distance from distractions and drama. Life is full of people and situations that seek to derail focus, to bait emotional reactions, or to feed the ego with petty conflicts. A strong mind recognizes that time, energy, and attention are finite resources, and it protects them fiercely. Mental strength is cultivated not only by absorbing power and resilience, but by consciously avoiding weakness and toxicity. Every negative influence you remove, every distraction you eliminate, every shallow relationship you disengage from is a step toward amplifying your mental clarity, focus, and determination. It is the difference between chasing a dream with full power or lifting forward with doubt and hesitation. Surrounding yourself with mental strength also requires self-awareness. You must recognize which influences are beneficial and which are harmful. Not everyone who smiles at you or pretends to support you is contributing to your growth. People even unintentionally reinforce patterns of complacency, hesitation, or fear. To cultivate mental strength, you must assess relationships critically. Seek out those who elevate you and eliminate those who drain you. This is not selfish. It is survival. Your mind is your most powerful weapon, and you cannot afford to expose it to forces that weaken it. You must guard it, fortify it, and strategically select the energy you allow in. A strong mental environment also inspires consistency and discipline. When you are surrounded by others who are mentally tough, it sets a new standard for your own behavior. Laziness, distraction, and doubt become unacceptable when you see others pushing limits, refusing excuses, and relentlessly pursuing excellence. Mental strength is reinforced by proximity to high standards and relentless drive. It reminds you daily that success is not optional, that mediocrity is not tolerated, and that your effort must match your ambition. The right environment creates pressure, accountability, and expectations that elevate your mind and push you toward results you could never achieve in isolation. Additionally, surrounding yourself with mental strength creates resilience against external challenges. Life will test you, throw obstacles in your path, and attempt to distract you from your mission. A mind trained in strength, supported by strong influences and protected from toxicity, is far more capable of handling adversity without breaking. You develop a confidence that is rooted not in luck or circumstance, but in the K. Knowledge that you are backed by the energy, discipline, and wisdom of a strong network. You internalize strength, absorb resilience, and become impervious to forces that would otherwise derail the average person. Mental strength is also about belief reinforcement. When you consistently interact with people who embody focus, courage, and resilience, you begin to internalize their mindset. Doubt is replaced with clarity. Hesitation is replaced with action. Fear is replaced with confidence. Every conversation becomes a lesson. Every interaction a reinforcement, and every environment a catalyst for growth. Surrounding yourself with mental strength is the multiplier of your own effort. It amplifies focus, energy, and determination beyond what you could achieve alone. Finally, to surround yourself with mental strength is to make a conscious, relentless decision about the quality of your life. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your goal is greatness, your mind must exist in an environment that demands greatness. You must seek influence, absorb power, and reject mediocrity in all its forms. Your mind is your most valuable asset, and the people, energy, and environment you expose it to determine the trajectory of your life. Surround yourself with mental strength, protect it fiercely, and immerse yourself in influence that challenges, inspires, and elevates you. The stronger your mental environment, the stronger your mindset, and the closer you move to the results you are destined to achieve. Consistency is the bridge between intention and results. Talent alone will not carry you to greatness. Opportunities alone will not secure your victory. Opportunities alone will not secure your victory. Motivation alone will not sustain you through the grind. Consistency is the force that turns dreams into reality, plans into achievements, and effort into results. The problem most people face is that mistake consistency for a skill or a product of ability, when in reality, it is a mindset. It is a deliberate choice, a mental framework, and a daily commitment to act in alignment with your goals, even when the world is unmotivated and the circumstances are difficult and your emotions tell you to quit. The world rewards those who show up day after day, who push past comfort, and who persist when others stop. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It is not extraneous, but it is unstoppable, and it compounds into results that no talent, luck, or fleeting effort can match. Many people think of consistency as something natural, something you either have or don't. They look at successful people and assume they are naturally consistent, as if it is an inherent skill rather than a deliberate practice. This is a lie. Every person who has achieved extraordinary results has made the conscious choice to show up repeatedly, to perform even when they do not feel like it, and to continue acting with purpose despite obstacles, distractions, and setbacks. Consistency is not a matter of energy, mood, or inspiration. It is a matter of mindset. It is the unwavering decision that your vision, your goals, and your results are more important than temporary discomfort, fatigue, or doubt. This is why consistency is not something you stumble into. It is something you build intentionally, moment by moment, day by day, through mental discipline and unyielding commitment. The power of consistency lies in its compounding effect. Small, deliberate actions, when repeated daily, create momentum that grows exponentially over time. Most people fail because they focus on short-term results. They expect immediate validation, quick wins, and rapid progress, and when it does not materialize, they quit. But consistency is not about speed. It is about persistence. It is about creating a ride, form of action so ingrained in your mind and your habits that even when motivation fades, the behavior continues. Every single day of effort is a brick laid in the foundation of your success. One day might seem insignificant, but hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands of repeated days build empires, legacies, and unshakable power. Legacies and unshakable power. This is the true essence of consistency. It is the accumulation of deliberate, focused action over time, and it transforms ordinary potential into extraordinary results. Consistency is also a measure of your character. It tests your discipline, your resilience, and your ability to resist temptation. The person who is consistent is the person who refuses to be distracted, who refuses to settle for mediocrity, and who refuses to quit when life becomes uncomfortable. Showing up day after day is not easy. It requires mental toughness, a clear vision, and a commitment that goes beyond fleeting motivation. Motivation is temporary. It waxes and wanes with circumstance, energy, and emotion. Consistency is permanent. It is rooted in mindset, in principle, and in unshakable belief in the value of your goals. Those who master this mindset gain an advantage that cannot be replicated through talent alone, because while others rest, procrastinate, or wait for inspiration, the consistent act relentlessly and results compound beyond imagination. Consistency is the secret weapon against self-doubt. Every time you follow through, every time you act despite fear, every time you maintain focus, you reinforce belief in yourself. The mind craves evidence, and consistent action produces proof. Each day you show up builds confidence, momentum, and a sense of mastery. Inconsistent effort, on the other hand, breeds doubt, hesitation, and frustration. You cannot claim mastery, growth, or achievement if you are inconsistent. The mind recognizes patterns, and when it observes repetition, it begins to align thoughts, energy, and action with that pattern. This is why consistency is more than action. It is a mental framework that trains the brain to anticipate results, adapt to challenges, and persist through difficulty. It is the engine that converts intention into reality. Another critical aspect of consistency is its relationship with habits. Habits are the building blocks of sustained success, and consistency is the tool that shapes them. You cannot build powerful habits without repeated deliberate action. Every time you practice discipline, stick to your plan, or take action towards your goal, you reinforce neural pathways that make the behavior automatic. Eventually, what once required effort becomes effortless, not because motivation returned, but because consistency created an internal structure that drives action without conscious struggle. This is the difference between those who try sporadically and those who achieve relentlessly. The consistent person becomes unstoppable because their mind, habits, and actions are aligned in harmony with their vision. Consistency also teaches patience and long-term thinking. Life rarely rewards instant gratification or immediate results. It rewards those who persist, who endure, and who refuse to be deterred by short-term failures or delays. Every moment of effort, every repeated action compounds like interest in a bank account. You may not see the results today, tomorrow, or even next week, but over time, the impact of consistent action becomes undeniable. This mindset trains you to value process over outcome, effort over motion, and discipline over convenience. The consistent person understands that victory is not in a single moment. It is the cumulative effect of repeated excellence over time. Consistency requires mental fortitude because it is easy to quit, to skip, to make excuses, and to rationalize avoidance. Every distraction, discomfort, and challenge is a test of your mindset. Every time you overcome the urge to quit, you reinforce the principle that results come from action, not desire. Consistency is a muscle that strengthens with use. The more you practice showing up, the more resilient you become. In contrast, inconsistency reinforces weakness, erodes self-belief, and amplifies doubt. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is rarely talent. It is the unbroken chain of effort created by a mindset committed to consistency. Finally, consistency is about integrity with yourself. It is about honoring your goals, your vision, and your potential by showing up every day, regardless of circumstance. It is about refusing to allow mood, fatigue, or fear to dictate action. Every day you act consistently, you are sending a signal to your mind, body, and environment that you are committed, disciplined, and unstoppable. This mindset becomes self-reinforcing, creating momentum, power, and unshakable focus. The world may not notice your effort today, but your future self will reap the rewards of every consistent decision, every repeated action, and every moment of disciplined effort. Consistency is not a skill, it is a mindset. It is the foundation of achievement, the engine of success, and the ultimate differentiator between those who dream and those who conquer. Everything we've discussed today comes down to one undeniable truth. Success begins in the mind. You can have money, a dog fight. You can have resources, opportunities, and talent, but if your mindset is weak, scattered, or unprepared, you will never reach the level you are capable of. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and the way you perceive challenges dictate everything. The most successful people are not luckier or smarter. They are mentally prepared. They understand that before you conquer the world, you must first conquer your mind. A strong, disciplined, focused, and relentless mind will carry you through storms, setbacks, and distractions that would stop the average person in their tracks. If you want to achieve anything extraordinary, you must start by making your mindset successful first. Every keynote we explore today is a weapon in your mental arsenal. Knowing yourself, understanding your why, disciplining your mind, embracing struggle, visualizing success, surrounding yourself with strength, and committing to consistency. They are not suggestions. They are imperatives. They are the blueprint of how unstoppable people think, act, and dominate life. If you walk away from this moment without integrating these principles, you risk staying average, stuck in cycles of doubt, hesitation, and unfulfilled potential. But if you commit, truly commit, you will transform not only your results, but your identity. You will no longer wait for motivation to show up because your mind will operate at a level beyond emotion, beyond comfort, and beyond excuses. The path ahead will not be easy. You will face obstacles that feel insurmountable, challenges that test your faith, and moments when quitting seems like the only option. That is the moment when your mindset matters most. Will you allow fear, doubt, or distractions to dictate your actions? Or will you tap into the mental framework we discussed today, the discipline, the focus, the resilience, the vision, and the relentless commitment to consistency and rise above every challenge? Your answers in those moments will determine the trajectory of your life. Those who understand the power of a strong mindset do not quit. They do not waver. They do not compromise. They persist. They endure. They dominate. Success is not about luck. It is not about timing. It is not about the people around you or the circumstances you face. Success is about mental ownership, taking control of your thoughts, actions, and energy, and refusing to let anything or anyone derail your journey. You must program your mind for victory, protect it from negativity, fuel it with belief, and strengthen it through action. When your mind becomes your ally, there is nothing in the world that can stop you. You will not merely chase your goals. You will become the person capable of achieving them, and everything you desire will be drawn to the force of your relentless mindset. So today, make the decision to prior